Hey guys, welcome to another video from the Parrott Bros. I'm Dom.
I'm Rob.
And welcome to this episode. Now in this episode we are going to be starting to take apart the donut. We'll also give you a little walk around the garage and kind of show you how we're going to be mucking it up every single week.
Having a go.
Let's get in there. Just checking I'm still recording because we've only done this 3 times already. Right, so I'm going to put that in the video because it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? We've only recorded this 3 times because I keep forgetting to press the record button.
And your mic weren't on the first time.
And my mic wasn't on the first time, and because I'm so excited to get stuck into this that I forgot. So, this is the garage. It is a single plus a little bit at the back and plus a little bit at the sides, mainly for the big blokes to get out the little cars. But yeah, basically single garage. We've got power because it's attached to Rob's house. So we've got lighting, this lovely Get Hex lighting, which is not sponsored, but really recommend it because it was easy to fit. It's
cheap enough. Really
bright, ideal for what we're doing. So I'll put their details down in the description. Rob's bikes for when he's feeling healthy. We've got Halford's toolbox, nothing special. Sockets, spanners, torques, screwdrivers and a few other bits and bobs, but nothing particularly mechanical, technical.
No.
And then we've got a drinks fridge which is full of beers and cokes for when we get fed up of working on this. We'll just go and sit at the heater at the back and have a couple of bevies. But basically, we are going to be taking apart this beautiful Mx5 and stripping it out for the bits that we need for this build. Now, I've got the iPad over there, and we're going to be going through all the bits that we need to take off of this. We'll do most of them in this episode. Some we'll do in the next episode, like the engine and stuff, because obviously to get the body off, get the bits out, is a bit time-consuming, and maybe a whole episode on its own. So we got the list. We'll go through it all, and we're going to take some of the fancy bits off first because Rob sold some bits to someone on the internet.
Managed to get some pound notes back.
Yeah, we'll get some quids back in for all the bits that we're going to buy in carbon. And basically, yeah, we're going to take some of the fancy stuff off first, and we'll get the seats out and stuff, so then we can show you what it is that we're removing because it makes it better. Green labels. This is for anyone like me who, once you've done something 5 minutes later, has completely forgotten about what they're doing. Basically, you just write on them, they tape round, then tape to themselves so they won't come off. And then you can write on it what it is. So if you unplug something and think, I might need to know what that is later, quick tag on it, everyone's a winner. Especially because in 2 months' time you won't know what it is, and then you'll come to get it on and think, right, on the old internet.
Pull the wiring loom out of the box and go,
onto the Parrott Bros, what was that? So yeah, that is pretty much our garage. Just a quick one on the thank you to our sponsors and supporters banner on the wall here. This is for basically anyone that wants to sponsor any videos. People who have supported the channel along the way will get a sticker up there for some companies that have helped us and continue to help us and grow this channel, do the build, and adjust. Thumbs up. So if you want to do that, drop us a message. We'll happily discuss that. Now,
you forgot to mention.
What did I forget to mention?
Where are we going to put all the parts?
Where are we going to put all the parts? Now, we've realised after putting this in here that this is quite tight. I mean, I have about this much space to get through here. And obviously a kit car has open wheels, which means the chassis is narrower, which isn't as bad until we put the wheel hubs on. But we have got a whole kit coming, which is in multiple parts, including the body, the chassis,
roll cage, windscreen,
which we don't need straight away. So what are we going to do with them, Rob? How many spare bedrooms you got?
2 spare bedrooms.
Do they have locks on?
No, but
we need to put locks on them and then say they're secret surprise Christmas presents for next year. Apart from the roll cage, because I don't think that'll go up the stairs.
No, I don't think that'll fit.
Maybe we'll make a lounge ornament. Could you hang stuff off of it?
We could.
We can make it a Christmas tree. Done. Done. Right.
Let's get cracking.
What tools do we need? What tools do you need for breaking a car?
We need a hammer.
Hammer.
And a grinder.
Literally, then we just need duct tape for the sharp bits and cable ties to hold everything together.
Happy days.
I think we're ready. Let's get stuck in. I'm still recording. Yes.
Hey.
Right, so we just thought we'd show you where we're at now. Now this is sort of semi-stripped. If you have a look at the car, I'll give you a better view. We've taken off pretty much all ancillary body panels. We've taken off the boot, the doors, the seats, the roof, the rear and front bumper, the bonnet, just so we can get access, the wings, because there's all things that you need to do, like the cables are tucked in all mad places and stuff like that. So this is kind of where we are now. The engine is still completely intact apart from the airbox and a couple of other little bits. We've taken the rad and stuff out the front just to make our lives easier. Now, I will say the best thing about this, isn't it, Rob, is that because we're taking it apart and not putting it back together again,
it's easy.
It's not so bad.
No,
all we say
not.
is that basically just mark everything. Even if you don't think you're going to use it, like the door latches. So in here, there's normally a switch, which obviously tells you whether the door's open or not, which is this one. So we've literally just put door switch. You're not going to need it, but if you label everything as you go, you get into the habit of knowing, making sure that you've sort of labelled everything, because a lot of it, I mean, show them the loom, Rob. Let me just...
This is the back half of the loom.
Yeah, so that's the rear end of the car. So it's mainly that massive multi-plug, which we can now unplug.
And it is pretty much undone.
Which is pretty much there or thereabouts.
I think with this one, a little flathead.
But yeah, so basically we've unplugged all the back of the loom, which is all the rear lights. There's an aerial cable in it. What else was there? The fuel tank and a few other bits and bobs. Rob's now going to... Don't put it on the cables, you nutter. God, you call yourself an electrician? Here we go, look. First time he's ever undone this plug. Trying to suss it out. There you go. So that's how that comes out. So now we've got the rear loom here, look, which is going to... My not so gorgeous assistant is going to show you. Now this is a combination of basically everything from the rear end of the car, all labelled up, all individual plugs.
All ready to go.
All ready to go, yeah. So that's the only thing we've had to cut just to get it out was the negative of the battery, but that goes to the body anyway, so it's not really relevant. The reason we're not showing you everything in the car is because it's not that hard. It's just a case of undoing nuts and bolts and unplugging things and just as you go, because you're not putting this car back together again, and you're not
going to use it again.
You're not going to use most of it, so it's a case of just unbolting and unplugging and just have a bag full of bolts.
Now, we did have a bit of a bonus yesterday. When I took the seats out, I'd say it's a bonus. The car was cheaper. When I took the seat out,
let's have a look. What we got?
I found a couple of the bits.
Do you know what? This is what I love about stripping a car. Look, there's a nuggy there, little pound. We got £1.70.
Yeah.
Car's £1.70 cheap. What else you find? Go on. Anything good?
Well, I'm not going to lie, but the geezer must have been...
Oh, what's that?
He must have been a gymnastic or something, because...
Look at that, look.
Little dirty dog.
Little somethings for the weekend. Dirty dog. I'd like to know the logistics of how he intended on doing that.
I would definitely like to know the logistics of that. Because it is tight, me just getting in there taking parts out, so that, I don't know.
Fair play to him. They're still in date.
I don't want to touch them. Might have to put some gloves on for that one.
I've heard you don't use them. Right, so we're kind of at the point now where we need to get the... the rear end's done. We've sprayed up underneath all the bolts. I'll take some pictures and show you. Underneath all the bolts is you undo, and then it basically takes the lowest section of the car out. So that is sort of all comes out and it wheels out away from the car. So literally all we've got to do now is the front end, which is steering column, clocks. What else we got? There's a few other bits. Here's one he prepared earlier. So yeah, that's the clocks unbolted and
unscrewed, and then there's just 3 plugs on the black.
Let's have a look.
Quite simple.
Can we get it? Of course we can. Look at that there. So yeah, just a case of unplugging those, which if Rob can see. Rob always has a challenge with plugs. There's one. There's 2. And there's 3. Now remember to mark these up. It will be obvious that they're dash plugs and they can only go in one way because they're all different sizes and shapes. But this is why we sort of, this is one of the other reasons why we're going with the MK build, because, tilt it down a bit, just because the old lights, because you get to keep this clock bezel. Now, on these clocks, there's so many things that you'd have to rewire into a digital dash, whereas this is already on there, it's already set up, everything will read right, it's got a quarter of a tank.
Bonus.
That's funny. And yeah, it just saves everything. Like, you've got the indicators, you've got the full beam warning and all that kind of stuff. Plus it keeps the mileage, which is always nice, unless you want to reset it back to the world. And then, oh, it's digital in it, that one, so you'd have to plug it in. You can't use a screwdriver to wind it back.
No, I can't wind it back. Unfortunately.
And the other thing is you get to obviously keep the bezel around, which Rob hopefully has put somewhere nice and safe.
Yep.
You get to keep the bezel around the
steering
column where the indicators and all that are, because you get to keep all of that as well. The steering wheel, it says to keep, but we're not going to be using it because we can't. Airbag. So yeah, we're just going to sort of jump into that, but we just wanted to show you that. We'll probably call this video a day here just because we're going to want to do a second video of removing the sort of the underneath and all the drivetrain of the car, which we'll do as a separate video, might be for those who may be a little bit less mechanical and just want to see how that goes. Plus, it'd be easy for us to show it start to finish with it. New jumper. He's repping the new jumper, which is probably dirty. I don't know if you can. It's pointing at me at the moment. Look at that jumper. Look lovely. He has to take it off every time he gets on the floor, but that's just because this car's rusty. So we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. That is semi-strip. We'll finish it off in a second video with a second strip. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, let's try and get a pan out here, and you can see how much of it is not left. Look at that. Look. It's not even. It doesn't even look like an MX5 anymore.
Ready for the scrapyard.
Ready for the scrappy in the sky. All right. Until guys, next time. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Bye bye.